we're going to put ourselves in the TV show. So I'm like, could we replicate that dynamic in a world with, 266, not even a world, in North America, with 266 million people overweight or obese, 1/3 of the adults over the age of 40 are pre-diabetic, which means if they click over into type 2 diabetes, that's another $10,000 coming out of the healthcare system, which is over, I think it's like over $280 billion a year, type 2 diabetes costs us, and that's preventable with lifestyle, nutrition, and exercise, right? So we thought, that would be an incredible way to affect this situation that we've got. If we were to give those same dynamics that we had as entrepreneurs and make it that the customer had the opportunity, if they wanted to, if they were willing to provide that peer support to people, to be able to help people get results and see that scale across North America and frankly, possibly even the world. So we're like, all right, let's do it. And it was like one of these things that we didn't really think about. We didn't put a plan together. We just did it. And we hired some people who knew how to put a comp plan together. And we started to look at who are our most loyal customers. We had these message boards, and we found these sort of 40 people. And they were our first coaches. And we wanted to launch the thing January 1st. And I'll never forget, I was talking to the tech guy who was putting this whole thing together. And this guy was so organized that to organize his technology, he had a stack of Post-it notes with a rubber band around it. And I was like, what's that they always bring to the meeting? He's like, that's my plan. Okay? So he came to me 2 days before we were supposed to launch. We were supposed to launch, I think, on January 7th. He came to me on January 5th and he said, by the way, we're not going to be ready to launch. I was like, why? He said, well, remember my Post-it note stack? The technology is not ready. I was like, well, how long will we need? Because we have these 40 people who are ready to go. And he said, I'm going to need 3 or 4 months. And I said, guess what? You're not going to get 3 or 4 months because you're not going to be here anymore. So he was gone, and we found a new guy, and we started, and we put it together, and got the thing going. And one of the things we realized very early on was that we hadn't solved the nutrition problem. Now, every one of our products has a nutrition plan with it, but as we're all aware, it's not easy to get people to change their behavior with nutrition. And it was like, we were looking around the marketplace, we saw other network marketing companies with meal replacement shakes. And at the time, I was looking at the market and thinking, well, do we just put a meal replacement shake that costs 30 or 40 bucks a month? Would that be good? And I was talking to my wife, who's one of the smartest people I know in the world, literally, and certainly the biggest heart. But she's got a background in health and fitness and all these certifications, and she's been flown around the world by CEOs and rock stars who want to detox from tours. Like, she's like the creme de la creme. She can't be here when I talk about it because she gets embarrassed and she doesn't like to self-promote, but like the top movie stars, like sometimes I'll pick up the phone and be like, hello? I'm like, I think it's James Bond for you. She's like, talk here, so I'll call him back. And like the weirdest, is this Brad Pitt? Is this really Brad? So like she's really like trusted because she just helps people like really specifically. And so one day I was watching her in the kitchen, or like all the time I watch her in the kitchen, and our house looks like a pharmacy or a health food store. Like all these little bottles all over the place. Like if we walk into a mall, some people be like, look, shoes, let's go, or something like that. Purses, let's go. She's like, health food store, let's go. She's looking at the back of everything. Like this is what she does. And I'll watch her, and every day she puts a little thing together, and then she'll give me my drink. She'll put a little thing together, and she'll do her drink. And I'm like, and I said, hey, I noticed that you're using a different protein powder today, how you're putting that together. Like, what happened to that other one with the guy on the cover? And she's like, yeah, a couple months ago I started to notice I could taste that something was less potent about it. I'm like, really? You taste that? And she's like, oh yeah, I don't know what happened, but something changed. So we looked it up, and it turned out that it had been sold 4 months ago. So the buyers, right, went into debt, they bought the company, and they started to reformulate it to try to squeeze out more profit. And so she happened to taste it. The poor other people that used to trust that brand, they were still buying it, just wondering why they weren't getting the same results. So I said to her, she had formulated shakes for another company, I knew that. And this was very early in our marriage. I think it was, we'd only been married about a year. And I said, look, we started this thing, this Team Beachbody thing, and I want a shake, but I don't want it to be just a me too shake. Would you formulate that for us? And you see how I eat. I literally do eat like a second grader. And like, it's true. I'm getting better, actually, now that we've got Fixate. We've got these other options. But at that time, it was like pizza, burger, burrito. Like, that was breakfast, lunch, and dinner, basically. And so I said, would you formulate something for the company? And she said, I won't do that, sorry. And I said, why wouldn't you do it? And she said, because what will happen is, the same thing that happened with the last company that I did this for, is I'll put all my heart, all my awareness, everything I can into this beautiful formulation. I'll be so proud of it, and I'll love it, and I'll want to drink it. And then I'll watch your suits, your finance people, destroy it, trying to make it $30 a month. And I said, well, look, I said, we go to a juice bar. If you go to a juice place, you can spend $5 or $6 on a juice or anything. And very often, if it's a big chain, you know, it doesn't have the fiber, doesn't have any protein, you got to boost it up to get it up there, and you can spend $8. But the bottom line is, to get a good dose of nutrition, you'll pay $4, $5, $6. So I said, look, if I don't limit you that way, and I make this, you know, guarantee to you, because we're going to have to sleep at night, and there's your head, and I don't want to get stabbed. So, like, if I guarantee you that we'll live up to the promise, would you do it? And she said, okay, I'm going to need some help, but we'll do it. And so that's when she found Darren O'Lean, who was this guy who was this ingredient hunter around the world, and they sort of compared their lists of superfoods and things with phytonutrients and more dense with fiber, better sources of protein, and clean sources from around the world, and so on. And they put this amazing shake